Hello guys, welcome back to another video on Prime Tennis YouTube. Today we are looking at some of the pros serves. I just, want to look at, some details and how they're able to stay so consistent with their serves and see, what we can notice here, and see if we can apply anything to our serves to help with, consistency, right? Making your first serve, your second serve, making your serve in general, it's so important. The most important shot in the game. So to have a high serve percentage is very important. But one thing that you want to keep in mind is I learned this tip recently is that, if your first serve percentage is actually it's if it's too high, then it likely means that you're not going big enough on your serve, right? The pros, they keep it around, try to keep it around 50, 60, 70%, maybe 80% accuracy if they can, right? I'm pretty positive, these guys go whole matches without double faulting, so they can make every serve if they want to. But it's, finding that balance of power, and accuracy and consistency to have a good serve. So if you're too consistent, that means you could probably go bigger with your serve. And so that's what you want to do. And if you're going too big and you're missing everything, then you want to reel it in a little bit, add more consistency. So that's just something you want to keep in mind. Okay, so first thing I notice here, right, is the toss. The toss is so essential with the consistency of your serve. If you'll see, we've seen them serve a couple of times now. Their toss is always the same, always the same. And Alcaraz, the way he tosses, he brings his weight back before he shifts forward, right? But as he's shifting forward, he tosses the ball. And when he tosses, the ball, when it peaks, ends up almost right above his hand, in terms of side to side, right? I think it's probably a little bit forward in front of him. That way he can jump forward and reach the ball. But it's high. It's a high toss. It's almost directly above him. And it's a little bit forward. But he's very consistent with this. If you look at this other serve, you'll see it's the exact same. We can't see the ball here. But it's the same toss every single time. The technique is the same. You only achieve this kind of consistency though with a lot of repetition. One thing that you want to keep in mind as a beginner, or even when you get to like a little bit more advanced, is that you don't want to change your toss, especially when you're changing up your serve. That's something I know Serena worked on a lot, is having the same exact toss for every serve. So if you're going flat, if you're going kick serve, tee, slice, whatever, same exact toss. That way your opponent can't read your serve. But, discarding all of that, you just want to have a very consistent toss that you can rely on. If your toss is too far forward, or too far to the right, too far to the left, automatically there that right away can mess you up. So that's something that you want to work on. You want to have consistency with your toss. Because, if you mess up the toss, then that's it. The serve is maybe already messed up before you hit it. So, if you do mess up your toss, just catch the ball and try again. You don't need to try and force it. One thing also with the toss is that, or I guess not with the toss, but like your contact point, right? You don't have to hit it. I feel like a lot of people try and hit it directly above them or out in front of them. You want to try and hit it a little bit to your dominant side. So obviously Djokovic, as a right-handed player, it's a little bit off to his right. You see how his hand's a little bit to the right of his body. I feel like a lot of people, when they start out, they try and hit the ball directly above them, or, you know, in front of them too much. You want to get it a little bit in front and a little bit to the side, to your dominant side. That will give you the best result. So, just FYI. Okay, the next one is probably the most obvious. I think I've gone over this in a previous video, but it's your swing pattern. Obviously, first serve tends to be flatter, less spin. For more consistency, you want more spin, you want the kick serve. It's still going to have an effect on your opponent, but it's not as difficult to hit. It doesn't require as much finesse. And so, for the difference between the first serve, second serve, kick serve, whatever, it's literally just the swing pattern. You swing upwards instead of forwards. Everything else is the same. Like this serve from Medvedev, that was a little bit more flat. I don't think that was a second serve. It didn't jump as high like the one from Djokovic we saw a little bit ago. And Medvedev, I don't think he has the, most spinny serve in the game. So it might be hard to see here. Yeah, that's pretty flat. You see the way the racket just comes. It goes back a little bit, doesn't go down a lot. When you're going back instead of down, then when you go back, you go from back to front basically, which gives you the power. And when you want to do a second serve or a kick serve, you go from bottom to up. Oh, oops. This one you can see the pattern, the swing pattern. It goes like straight across the ball. There's no upward movement. The ball after here, he doesn't go up anymore. It starts going down immediately from this point. And that's how you get a flatter, kind of faster serve. Yeah. Christmas commercials. I think Rublev will be a good example here. So you see the swing pattern, the motion. It's a little bit different from Medvedev. He goes a little bit more low to high. The racket drops behind him. That's just how he serves. But then from here, it's just up. And then eventually, when he gets to the ball, it's through. But this upward movement from here, in like this short amount of time, this is very slowed down. But in this short amount of time, his arm's gonna fling up, and that upward movement is gonna generate a lot of spin, and that just helps a ton with consistency. And accuracy. That was a nice serve. But I mean, a lot of this is it's just a ton of practice. You just serve a ton and you serve a ton and you serve a ton, and then you get all these like niche small things down, and they build up over time. You know, big servers like Shelton, they serve a ton. And that's how their serve is so good. I like how it really goes over the top of that ball. Contact point is also something you want to keep in mind when you're serving. It makes a huge difference the way you visualize contacting the ball and then the way you actually do it as well. Like this serve, he's going for more of a topspin serve. You can see when he makes contact, you saw with the Medvedev one, you can go back. It was very flat. It was very um, very like behind the ball, like right here. But when Shelton hits this one, it's gonna be like over the top of the ball. That gets you a lot more spin. So it's not just that low to high movement, but the way you visualize hitting the ball as well. That will also make a huge difference. You know, if you want to go for a slice as a lefty, you would hit the left side of the ball. As a righty, the right side of the ball. You know, you're trying to get a kick. You know, you can hit the top of the ball or visualize hitting under the ball. And that makes a huge difference. Or, you know, if you're trying to hit flat, just hit about hitting the back of the ball and driving through it. All these pros, they have like different timings. Like you see Fritz here, how he goes back, tosses his left arm up first, and then brings his right arm. You know, Alcaraz, you see him bring both up at the same time as he moves forward. They all have like different things, so like that's why I'm not talking too much about the technical things. Those are stuff that, you know, can vary a lot, and things that, you know, can be unique and worked around. You know, you just have to work with it a lot. You know, pin step or platform, typically, you know, most of the pros are doing pin step now, but I think platform is also just as good. You know, maybe you don't generate as much power with your legs, but I think it still works. You know, whether to bring your arms up at the same time or toss first and then bring your arm up, you know, things like that. It doesn't really matter too much, but it's, you know, the basics, the tossing, the swing pattern, you know, using your legs, stuff like that. That's what every single serve has to have. And so, you know, you just want to keep that in mind as you practice. All the other stuff that can be worked on with your coach or whoever, or you can figure that out or just copy somebody that you like. But the stuff that, you know, I've talked about, some of the stuff I've talked about in this video are just stuff that you have to have, you know. So I'm going to end it there for today, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.